Something special, huh?
They're not special. They're
Hello, sweet and beautiful people. We're back again with yet another marvelous video. This time, we're taking you back to Stephen King's Shining universe with its sequel, Dr. Sleep. Excited? Well, we're going to take that as a yes, but in today's video, we're going to be focusing on the plot? Nah. The lead? No way. Their antagonist? Bingo. But here's the twist. Dr. Sleep's antagonist is not an individual, but a group of supernatural beings who feed on innocent souls for greater greed. So, who are they and what is their greed? Let's find out, but first, let's give you a little context about the world of Dr. Sleep. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Dr. Sleep, a quick recap of the world. I know I already mentioned that I won't be discussing the plot or the lead much, however, a brief introduction to the world will help some viewers understand what they're stepping into if they've never heard or seen anything about Dr. Sleep before. Well, Dr. Sleep is the official adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name. The novel was released in 2013 and the movie, directed by Mike Flanagan, hit theaters in 2019. The movie starts with its lead, Danny Torrance, played by the actor Ewan McGregor, who's still battling his childhood trauma and psychic powers after the sinister events that took place in the Overlook Hotel years ago. To suppress his psychic powers, known as the Shining, Danny resorts to alcoholism and wanders from place to place before he discovers his peace in a small town in New Hampshire. Later, Danny joins a hospice and he starts comforting dying patients with his abilities, thus earning him the nickname Dr. Sleep. One day, a young girl named Abra Stone, played by actor Kylie Curran, with higher shining powers, connects with him telepathically, and they soon become good friends. But Danny's life takes a sharp turn when Abra comes to New Hampshire to meet him and inform him that a group of powerful immortal vampires, known as the True Knot, are now on a hunt to capture her, and he's the only person who can take them out and save her. And yeah, you guys, the antagonistic group we mentioned at the beginning of this video is the True Knot. In this video, we'll be covering everything about them, and as a bonus, we'll reveal their reason for chasing Abra and what consequences they face for pursuing this mission. All these questions will be answered in different segments, so please stick with us to the end to know all of these answers and more. So, without further ado, let's start the party with Origins, History, and Purpose. Origins. Over the years, Stephen King has penned some of the most iconic villains and monsters, such as Pennywise from It, Cujo, and Annie Wilkes from Misery. But do you know what all of them have in common? It's their raw nature to cross boundaries and inflict pain and suffering for pleasure and utter dominance. Like King's other supervillains, the True Knot is no exception, so let's explore their origins, history, and other interesting facts. First, the origins. Even though there are barely any details regarding the origins of this nomadic, quasi-immortal group of vampires or how the first one came into existence, it's said that they are a very old group that earlier had 200 members, but now have been drastically reduced to just 41 when the events of the book start taking place. Most of its members were human before, but once they discovered their psychic powers, they became members of this group through a ritual called the turning process. We'll cover this process in detail in a few minutes. History. If we consider their history, most of the True Knot members have been living for ages, so they constantly change their names, habits, and personality according to time. This helps them in two ways. Firstly, they easily gel their identity with the existing human society without any doubt, and second, it helps them fetch their prey. The members of the True Knot always consider themselves superior to the human race, and to prove their disgust with humans, they use the derogatory slang word rubes, or a person without the shine. The members of True Knot are powerful and own countless businesses and campgrounds where they perform all their rituals and ceremonies. Purpose. Remember at the start of this video I told you they feed on innocent souls for greater greed? Well, that greed is to continue their immortality, and they achieve it by feeding on the souls of children with high shine. They call these souls steams and can go to any length of ruthless killing and torture to achieve it. Even in the movie, they start their major arc by feeding on the steam of a young boy named Bradley Trevor, a plan which later backfires and prompts them to chase Abra, the girl with even higher shine than Bradley. What makes True Knot a unique group of vampires? Unlike their traditional counterparts, members of True Knot have psychic powers and only feed on steam from high-shine kids to maintain their immortality. They don't consume blood from any random person, regardless of what other, more traditional vampires generally do. Do True Knot members also steal steam from adult shine users? Unlike children, they consider the steam of an adult with shine as rotten meat. They try to snatch their powers or wipe their memories if they encounter one, but if they find an adult with potential, they try to recruit them to their group through the turning process. Remember that turning process which we mentioned just minutes ago? Here's the whole thing in detail. During this process, all the existing members of the group form a circle and respond to the chant of a senior member known as Grandpa Flick. We'll learn more about him in a coming segment. After the chanting, the new recruit experiences the painful sensation of inhaling the steam of a child who endured a lot of suffering before dying. Later, another team member gives them more steam to relish the newfound power, finish the overall process, and completely transform into one of them. Since we have a clear idea about the True Knot, now it's time to know about all of its members. Meet the members of the True Knot, novel and movie. The True Knot is a very large group, so we're touching on all of its prominent members, especially the ones who are in the movie. We're starting this list with the group's leader, Rose the Hat. Rosie the Hat is one hot chick you don't want to mess with because she's an old soul who has been constantly wandering the earth for almost 700 years. Originally born Rose O'Hara, Rose has used countless names over the years, such as the Irish Rose, Rosie, and Lady in the Hat, to fit in with human society and conceal her demonic presence. Talking about appearance, she has curly black hair and pale skin, and as the name suggests, she wears a magician's hat to complete her look. Since she's the leader and a powerful sorcerer, she has a dominating authority in the group, and all the members are intentionally or unintentionally bound to obey her orders. In the movie, Rebecca Ferguson plays her role. Grandpa Flick! Earlier, we dropped Grandpa Jonas's name during the turning process and how he acts as the central figure in the weird recruiting ritual, but now it's time to learn everything about him. Grandpa Jonas Flick is the group's oldest member, but is a total badass. Believed to have been alive since the time of Henry VII, Grandpa Flick also claims to be a war veteran. However, the twist is that the name of the war he fought in changes every 20 years, and it mostly depends on how long it's been since he's taken his last steam. On the appearance front, he's a tall, skinny man with gray or white hair. However, his main contribution to the novel or the movie is his death, which acts as a canon event for Rosie the Hat to pursue Abra Stone. In the movie, Karel Struycken plays his role. The next segments will cover what happens during his death and how it triggers Rose's chase for Abra, Crow Daddy. Next, we have another prominent member of the group, Crow Daddy. Born Henry Rothman, Crow Daddy is the lieutenant, or in simpler terms, the group's second in command. He's Rose's love interest and obediently follows her commands. He's brave and cunning and always prioritizes the group's interests. With his powers, he's also been successful in locking his age. Crow Daddy also helps Rose to track down Abra. Later, Rose sends him to hunt down Abra with his crew. In the movie, Zahn McClarnon plays his role, and he kills Abra's father and kidnaps her as well. Barry the Chunk! Formerly known as Barry Smith, Barry the Chunk is a ruthless predator like the other members. Barry holds a major position in the group as Rose trusts him to hunt down prey for steam or bring on potential additions to the team for the turning process. In the movie, he's the one who puts on the baseball gloves of the abducted kid, Bradley Trevor, which later helps Abra track down the True Knot's activity with her psychic abilities. In the movie, Robert Longstreet plays this character. Snakebite Andy! Born as Andrea Andy Striner, Snakebite Andy is a powerful member of the True Knot and shares a deep romantic relationship with another character, Silent Sari, who we'll discuss next. She's a beautiful white woman and became a member of the cult in the 80s when she was just 32 years of age. She also had a short-term relationship with Rose before settling in with Sari. Actor Emily Allen Lind depicts her role in the movie. Silent Sari! Born as Sarah Carter, Silent Sari is a beautiful, introverted woman who never, or very rarely, speaks in the group due to a speech impairment. As mentioned, she shares a deep, intimate relationship with Andy, but she also got Andy through to the turning process in the group. She also comforts Rose when her love interest, Crow, dies. However, in the movie, Katie Parker plays the role of Silent Sari, and there's no mention of Andy and Sari's relationship. Short Eddie! Short Eddie is the group's cook and husband of a character known as Big Mo. Actor Met Clark depicts his role in the movie. Diesel Doug. Diesel Doug is originally half-blind and can only see once he consumes steam. He's among the few team members who leave when Crow Daddy meets a tragic end. Actor James Flanagan portrays his role in the movie. Apron Annie. Annie Lament, Apron Annie, plays a crucial role in tracking the special kid Bradley Trevor for his steam. She also takes care of Grandpa Flick during his sick days and later meets the Crow after he kidnaps Abra and Billy with Diesel Doug. She later leaves the group. Selena Anduze plays her role in the movie. Jimmy Numbers. Jimmy Numbers is the tech wizard who closely monitors the group's accounts. He looks to be in his late 40s or early 50s, but he's actually almost 150 years old. Rose trusts him with any hacking-related activity. He was also part of Crow's team that hunted down Abra Stone. Another notable thing about him is that during his human days, he claims to have been a Civil War veteran just like Grandpa Flick. Walnut. Born as Peter Wallace, Walnut is the main man of medicine, or in simpler terms, the group's doctor. Commonly known as Nut by his group, Walnut was the one who discovered the group's biggest weakness and the solution that could counter it. This is completely linked with Grandpa Flick's death and will be revealed just about now. But before that, it's also important to note that Walnut was an important member in hunting down Abra, as only he had the drugs to sedate her. Other notable members. Apart from these more prominent characters, there are other members who are more or less impactful in the novel's overall storyline. Petty the Chuck. Petty the Chuck is Barry the Chuck's wife and the first person to notice Grandpa Flick's health degradation. Other than that, she has little significance to the plot. Pea and Pod. After many adult members, here comes a description of two twins who are still kids. The twins take care of Grandpa Flick whenever his health takes a dip due to less steam consumption. Another important thing they do in the plot is keep track of their trail if someone tries to follow after Crow kidnaps Abra and Danny's friend Billy. They leave the group with a character named Sweet Terry Pickford. The other group members are Tommy the Truck, Heavy Mary, Big Mo, Token Charlie, Baba the Russian, Black Eye Sue, and Dirty Sued, to name a few. Powers and weaknesses of the members of the group. The members of this cult group are known to have the key to immortality, which they have achieved through a wide range of powers. First on the list is psychic powers. All of the True Knot members possess different psychic powers that allow them to hunt children with high shine and forcefully take their steam to boost their immortality. However, the degree of psychedelic powers can vary from individual to individual depending on their ranking and status in the team. Next is telepathic powers. The group members can detect children with high shine through their telepathic powers. However, only a few in the group possess this power. Rose the Hat, Grandpa Flick, and Barry the Chunk. In the movie, Crow Daddy, in place of Barry, is shown to have high telepathic tracking power. The power to erase memories. It has been said that the group members can remove the memories of an adult with shine if they reject their proposal to join. Silent Sari is the prime member and master of this art. Make people fall asleep. Manipulating someone to sleep with the use of just some words and chants is an amazing power to have at your disposal, and someone from the True Knot is simply the master of it. It's Snakebite Andy, who hones this power and specifically targets men in bars to rob them. She also kills them using her snake fangs. Predicting the future. In the novel, they mention that some members even have the power to predict the future and its happenings in advance. They instantly sense something bad, and one prime example is when they successfully predict the 9/11 terror attacks. Weaknesses. Even though all the members of the True Knot are immortal beings, they're not invincible and have their share of weaknesses. Every member might have their particular weakness, but collectively, these are their common weaknesses. Not immune to modern diseases. The prime example of this is the death of Grandpa Flick, who dies after consuming steam from the kid Bradley Trevor. Yes, this is the same Bradley who was suffering from measles, and being an old soul for ages, Grandpa Flick's body has never developed any resistance against such diseases. Even other members are affected by this disease. Yes, Grandpa's death through measles is what drives Rose to find a better and purer quality of steam so that their body can fight such diseases before they try to penetrate their immune system. Once she learns about Abra, her quest begins. The lust for steam. Each True Knot member must feed themselves a continuous supply of steam. Without it, the member can rapidly age, lose strength, and even die. So, with the constant urge to keep their life force up and running, they expose themselves to countless dangers, which sometimes leads to their death. Prone to accidents, bullets, and injuries. The members of True Knot are immortal for sure, but unlike the rest of the immortals, they can be killed through gunshots, accidents, and other physical means. The movie simply proves this, but more details about this will be provided in the next segment. Higher supernatural threats. The members of the True Knot cannot fight against entities that possess higher psychic powers than them. You'll get a clear picture once we cover the thrilling climax in our next segment. How does each member of the True Knot meet their fate in the movie? In the previous segment, we explained how Grandpa Flick died, but to cover the other members' deaths, we'll pick up where we left off in the world of Dr. Sleep. After learning everything from Abra, Danny sets up a plan to kill all the members of the True Knot in their secret hideout. To set his plan in motion, Danny recruits his friend Billy and Abra's dad, Dave. Upon arrival, the trio fired gunshots at all the members of the True Knot except Rose, who was in some other place. But against the consequences, Crow Daddy kills Billy and Dave and kidnaps Abra. To save Abra, Danny summons his shine powers, possesses Abra, and kills Crow by causing a major crash in his car. Danny knows that Rose will surely follow them after they have completely dismantled her lover and team. So, to completely end the cat and mouse game, Danny lures Rose to the abandoned Overlook Hotel. The idea behind this was that the hotel's spirits were extremely dangerous to people with shine, and it could pose the same threat to Rose, who somewhat wields the same power as them. After reaching the hotel, Danny releases shine and prepares to face Rose with Abra. Rose arrives and confronts Danny and Abra, and a telepathic war erupts between them, which Rose effortlessly wins. But Danny releases all the spirits from the hotel's lockboxes and they attack and kill Rose, who at that time was releasing even more psychic power than Danny. This event marks the end of the True Knot legacy. Why did the True Knot lose against Danny and Abra? Rose the Hat is an arrogant leader who's blinded by self-pride and therefore fails to detect threats imposed by Danny in the hotel. On the other hand, Danny is also mentally agile and knows all about the evil spirits of the hotel and how to manipulate them. A thin line of proper planning and execution becomes the difference between winning and losing in Dr. Sleep. Marvelous verdict! Since we've explored everything about the True Knot, a few questions still remain. Will we see any further installments of The Shining or Dr. Sleep? Is it still possible to witness the True Knot and its members again? Well, the movie doesn't show any survivors, but you know Stephen King, he's a master magician and can pull out something extraordinary to entertain us once again. Let us know your thoughts on the True Knot in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to be notified with our latest nerdy content. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay safe out there, and have a marvelous day.